India, a Peshawari Pathan and a Tamilian from Tamil Nadu. In दोनों में तो कोई, at least to the common man's eye, there is no connection, there is no similarity. One is perhaps 6.5 feet tall, of a different complexion altogether, of a different build altogether. And someone from Tamil Nadu has a very different build altogether, different physical features, different ways of eating, different ways of conducting himself. And yet, there was a time when we thought that all of us belonged to the same nation. So, is nation defined by physical features, language, race, what? So, Dr. Ambedkar comes out with a fantastic point where he cites several sources and he says, a country is a landmass which provides people with a karmbhumi, a field of work for them to act upon and to create their own futures. So people plus country, the geography plus the subject, which is the person, environment plus subject makes a nation. This is important for us to understand. But then the question is, how many people of different thought processes, worldviews, and languages can come together to form a nation? So he answers this in a beautiful way to say, a nation is decided only by two things. Past plus present is equal to nation. That means a majority of people should have a shared view of the past and should have at least an overlap of aspirations ki hame aage kahan jana hai. Unless and until both these ingredients are satisfied, you can't call it a nation. So assume for a moment, 50% of the country believes that Alamgir Aurangzeb was a tyrant, was an oppressor. 50% of the country believes, nahi ye to hamare wali hai, that he is someone who is a role model worthy of emulation. That shows a fundamental problem or a fault line in the society. आप किसको पूछते हैं और किसको नफरत करते हैं या किससे नफरत करते हैं, that matters, because that tells you how many areas of commonality you share and how deep is the division on issues that relate to your identity. Therefore, unless and until there is a shared view of your past and a shared vision of your future, there is no concept of a nation. Let's think of it this way. The Communist Party of China, for all practical purposes, subscribes to the Marxist ideology, and then the next version, which is the Maoist ideology. And therefore, according to them, they believe in the class war. According to them, there is the oppressed and there are the oppressors. This is the only two camps in which the world is divided. And therefore, for the next 30-40 years, they went about destroying every symbol of Chinese culture under all sorts of names. The Great Leap, the Long Revolution, this and that, they kept on doing it. But today, they've decided that the vision of China, the vision of the Middle Kingdom, is central in order for them to build a grand narrative if they have to plan the next 100 years. So, an avowedly communist regime, which is not supposed to have any belief in culture and which rejects the idea of history altogether, has realized the value of history. So no matter what you do, history is a subject that you can't run away from.